How you guys doing? Good. What do you think? You think abortion's murder?
Nah.
What is it then?
I feel like it depends how long
Really?
it was, you know.
You don't think from the very beginning that zygote is alive?
I think a clump of cells isn't alive.
Are you a clump of cells?
In the beginning. I think it depends how far along. I think after,
But you guys are clumps of cells, right? No, you're not? What are you?
Kind of right. Yeah.
What's that?
So you're kind of right.
So even if we reduce it down to the moment of fertilization, that is a cell that has all his or her DNA, going to continue to develop continually, but at the very beginning we have something that's alive and something that's a human life. And so basically, that's why I have this sign, equal justice for all people. Because back in slavery days, they didn't believe slaves were human beings. Dred Scott decision. And so they passed laws and said, you know what, we can enslave them. My slave, my choice is what the masters would say, right? So here we are in the 21st century still having human rights issues where now we don't believe that babies in the womb are human beings. So we don't have equal justice and equal protection under the law.
It's also a woman's body.
It is a woman's body, but it's also a body inside of her body.
Yeah, but it could affect her body.
Of course it can. So what? It's still a body in her body. Does she have a right to destroy the body inside of her body?
It just started.
What's that?
I mean, like, it's a tough one.
It is tough. And that's why I want to challenge people to think it through. Because the same philosophy that allowed slavery and the same philosophy that allowed the extermination of Jews or whomever in the Soviet Union is the same philosophy that's here today. It just changed form, and now we go against little babies.
There are definitely certain situations I would say it's okay to do that. Especially if there was a rapist.
But even still, I think the rape is a terrible thing. I agree with you, and the rapist should be prosecuted and punished under the law, but why should the baby be executed because of the sins of a man? Do you know that there's people on this campus that were products of rape?
Why should the woman have to deal with...
Yeah, there's many. I don't know what the percentage of the population that are products of rape, date rape, all kinds of stuff. We don't have a right to go kill them. Why does location make a difference or development?
Why should the woman have to live with that?
Because it's a different body. It is difficult. I hear what you're saying. To be pregnant and to have to give birth is a difficult thing. But if that life inside of her is a human being, then we need to protect that. Just like I got a 19-month-old little boy. He can't live on his own. I got to change his diaper. He wants his baba, you know. I got to feed him. I got to make sure he's safe, because if he's not, he's going to die. Well, it's the same thing. That little boy is dependent upon me. Just like that little baby is dependent upon the woman's body. You're right in that.
Do you think if there's health complications, like she might die?
You know, I've done some research on that. I've heard obstetricians say that they've never known an instance that a woman had to actually murder her child in order to save her life. There are many times physicians will say, if you don't kill that child, you're going to die. And I've talked to many women that they said, no, I'm not going to kill that child, and the baby was fine.
I mean, that's possible, but it was definitely a health risk. There's definitely some cases where it was a health risk if they kept the kid.
If they did, but how do we know once they kill it?
It's very interesting.
I mean, why risk your own life?
What's that? That's what it means to be human, my friend. I would lay down my life for you. Why would a mother not lay down her life for her little children? I mean, go between a mama bear and her cubs, what will she do?
Oh, I think abortion is murder.
She'll rip you to shreds. But in humanity, we pass laws that allow us to kill human beings. That's all. I believe all human beings are created in the image of God. It doesn't matter what their stage of development or their location. So I'm an abolitionist. Remember the abolitionists of old? During slavery times, the whole society, the church, the government, they all said slavery is perfectly fine because these are not human beings. Well, abolitionist says, yes, they are human beings. And so I'm a modern day abolitionist. And I say these are human beings just as much as you are, just as much as I am. Hey, it's good talking with you guys. Thank you for a good conversation.